Today's 4 Deep Sports Talk show is supported by PTU Clinic. Visit ptuclinic.com. Adria's Restaurant and Banquet Facility of East Bridgewater. For more information, their website is adriasrestaurant.net. And the Boston Athletic Academy at bostonathleticacademy.org.
Hello and welcome back to 4 Deep Sports Talk. Today we are going to be covering Cal Ripken, the World Series for 10U baseball. We have Dominic Damiano waiting on the line. He was waiting throughout the commercials. He runs this show. Thank you, Dom. You can still hear us now, right?
I can. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Loud and clear. Hear you.
Hey, Tom. How's the weather down there?
Weather is good. The weather is good. I was lucky enough to grab two great individuals to help me out with this interview. You only got us for a half an hour, and I know you guys can talk about the rest. But real fast, we want to give a shout-out to Milton, Mass. They won the Ironman tournament, so they did not qualify for the World Series, but they're going to be in studio next week hopefully with their whole roster, and we'll promote the kids.
Awesome.
Get that in. But real fast, I want to introduce Frank Revour.
Revoir.
Yeah, it's a French name.
Yeah,
and
Revoir.
John Tennant. So Frank is the UIC, the umpire in charge, and John Tennant, he's in his 20th World Series. And I asked him to keep it a little bit brief, but they're here to answer your questions. Just like you guys know, just tell them who you are and all that, and they'll do their best to let you know. And we're getting ready for the championship between Julington, Florida, and Malton, New Jersey for the World Championship. They have to win the ball at 1 o'clock. So you guys want to go ahead. They'll wait. Yes. And it's going to be on WZDM.com off their live stream here in Vincennes, Indiana.
Vincennes, Indiana. Okay.
All
So,
right.
guys, you ready?
Yep. So who do you want to ask first?
Justin, you got any questions on deck, or you want me to start over first?
You can go first.
Okay. I actually wanted to ask John Tennant real quick. Before we start talking about this tournament specifically, saw that there was 20 years of experience for the World Series. Wanted to ask him if there was a certain one that kind of stuck out in his mind that he remembers the most throughout those 20 years.
Well, I was actually in Vincennes 21 years ago. This is my 20th World Series, and I wanted to come back here just to, kind of an anniversary type thing. I've been all over the country. Been down in Abbeville, Louisiana, Van Buren, Arkansas, just about everywhere. I live in Longview, Washington, so I travel east this time of year for the most part, but I've done 3 in Longview, Washington also.
Yeah, okay. So you said 21 years since your first World Series at Vincennes?
Yes.
Would you say the venue has changed much in those 21 years? Like, have they updated it, made it a little bit more modern throughout those decades?
Yeah, they've really done a lot of work in Vincennes. The original field is just absolutely beautiful. They've got other fields now, and they've done a really nice. They've got a little buddy ballpark, and it's a great venue for the World Series.
Yeah, I imagine as youth sports have kind of grown a lot in the last 2 decades, that it's pretty crazy seeing the progression throughout those. And then to follow up real quick, as we look into this championship game for this year, is there any real insight that you can see or provide to the audience while we're looking into it that you wouldn't see from a surface level just looking at the game?
I don't look at it. I guess I look at it in a different way. I don't see teams when I umpire. I just see kids. So I couldn't tell you who's in the game.
That's actually the best way to approach it.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Yep.
So there's no favoritism. Nobody knows who you are. You're an ump. You're a world-class ump, right?
Yeah. No, nobody knows who I am. The best umpire in the world is the one you don't notice.
That's right. That's right.
That's very true. Then, Justin, you want to take the next question?
Yeah. What's it feel like to be in a World Series for 2 decades?
It feels like I'm getting old. I started this, like I said, 21 years ago. I've umpired for 35 years.
Wow.
And I got interested in Babe Ruth and Cal Ripken when Cal Ripken was not even called Cal Ripken. So, and then I put an application in like everybody else did. I got picked. I figured I'd do 5, and then go away. And now I've crew chiefed about 10 of them. Worked with some great guys. Worked at a lot of beautiful fields. Worked with some great kids. Watched them grow up, and I've actually done a 12-year-old series, and then watched them again at a 15-year-old series.
Wow. Have you ever have any of the players go to the professional level?
Oh yeah, there's lots of them. I can't name them, but
Yeah.
we've got a couple of professional coaches. I mean, there were players here that were professional coaches or professional ball players.
Okay.
Dang.
Wow.
Actually, John, hi, good afternoon. This is Frank. I just wanted to tie into what John was saying about John's our honorary UIC. They put me in charge, but he actually he's a mentor to all of us. He's a fascinating individual, and he's in it for all the right reasons. But John, one guy that comes to mind is Austin Kearns. He was in the 12-year-old World Series.
Yeah.
And so he is out here, Austin and Willingham, and then an NFL player is a coach, Rasheem Mathis, a former NFL player. So,
Wow.
so we had three professional athletes out here coaching their kids. So really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool that they come back and actually contribute to the Cal Ripken League like that. It's really nice to see. Then this is actually going to be a question for both Frank and John. I want to ask you guys, as you guys have both been umpiring over the years, has there ever been kind of a moment that has stuck out as a once-in-a-lifetime type moment that you're going to see on the field? Like maybe you saw like a 10-year-old hit a home run or something like that stands out to you?
Well, this is Frank. For me, I've only had, this is my 4th, and it happened this year. I've seen 2 home runs by, I think the same 10-year-old that, I don't know, John, how far did it go?
250 feet.
250 feet?
Wow.
So that might be, right now, that might be the one I can think of, but John and I had the honor of sharing the field with him, seeing some defensive gems by a couple of shortstops where the athleticism was just, it was way more advanced than a 10-year-old. So these are kids that are they're truly gifted. I mean, and Dom was saying a Massachusetts team. Yeah, so to be here right now, they're special kids, special athletes.
Yeah, especially when you're traveling across the country like that, you have to have something stand out to be putting that much work in. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool to see. Then, Justin, you have a follow-up question to that real quick? Or do you want me to take over?
You can keep going.
Okay. Okay, so as we look at the game that is coming up, it's going to be Marlton, New Jersey versus Julington Creek, Florida. I'm still talking to Frank right now, right?
Yeah, Frank's here. John's right next to me.
Okay, yeah. So I asked John earlier if you give some insight to that game that the viewers who haven't been around the World Series this whole time would not know. Is there any insight that you could give to that game while we're waiting for it?
Like how are both teams?
I have to, as an official, John hit it. He was spot on where we don't really see that. We don't make any. We walk on the field with a blank slate. And we officiate the game that's in front of us. And it's funny, we were talking about the other night when I umpired games my son was in, there were times where he'd be up to bat. I didn't even realize that I was so focused. So you really need, I think, to be a good umpire, you need to not have any biases. You need to really, you're just calling balls, strikes, and outs.
Yeah, so obviously
you're not paying attention.
My bad. I did not mean to interrupt you there. That was a very insightful answer. That was kind of exactly what I was looking for. But obviously there's no bias towards the players and that type of stuff. But when it becomes a late game situation and you realize that a call that you make can decide the outcome of the game, how is it really working in your mind when you decide, do I want to influence this game and call the right call, or is this going to anger some people when I do this?
Well, Frank, my answer, and John's might be speaking more from more experience, but mine is we're trained as umpires to relax. Our timing has to be, not fast. We have to think things through, and I think that's the mark of a good umpire is not the moment. You have to make sure the moment doesn't get too hot for you. That when things are going on in the field, we just remember why we're there, and that's to call what we see, and to call it, and to not call it too hastily, too quick. So that would be my answer to that. Is when things are getting heated, and they do, and they did a little bit down here, because fans and coaches, the game's full of emotion, and when they get fired up, we hear it, but I think the more veteran umpires, we it doesn't affect us as it would somebody that's a younger umpire, less experienced. So that would be me. John, what do you think?
Oh, excuse me. I think kind of the same way. We're taught to take a picture of what we see and then review it in our head as quick as we can and then make that call. If you make a call too quick, there's a lot of times the ball will drop out or there'll be something else that happens. So the more experience you have, the easier it is to relax. I come to these World Series, and, one of the biggest things that I see over the years is guys making calls too fast. So we just tell them, slow down, slow down, slow down. And once you get to that pace, it's a lot easier. You're gonna make a wrong call, but do what you can. We're human.
Yeah, so it seems like being patient and keeping a calm composure basically the entire time is the best way to go for that. Can obviously get a little bit hard when there are fans just yelling about a call because it didn't go the way for their team that it's expected to. But I imagine as you mature, the patience and the ability not to kind of get confounded by that just comes along with it.
You just block that out. You can't worry about what's happening outside the fence.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense because everything that you guys have to control is inside that fence, as you said. But we are coming up to our first break. Could we keep you for another about 15 minutes when we come back? Would that be okay?
Yeah, you want me to take it out for you?
Yeah, sure, Dom. Yeah.
All right, this is Dominic Damiano from 4D Sports Talk as we are reporting live from the 10-year-old Cal Ripken World Series in Vincennes, Indiana. We'll be back with Frank Rivera, the UIC, the tournament, and John Tennant. We'll be back with more right after this.
Welcome to Physical Therapy U. I'm Kelly Duggan, Doctor of Physical Therapy and the owner of PTU Clinic. Here at PTU, you're more than a patient and we're more than physical therapy. We offer massage, physical therapy, occupational therapy, personal training, and sport-specific performance training. We treat people and athletes of all ages and all levels of experience. Our beautiful 4,500 square foot facility located at 75 Scotland Boulevard in Bridgewater, Mass. is unlike any clinic you've seen. Our large space, along with our new COVID guidelines, allow us to treat you in the safest way. Your success in meeting your goals is our top priority. Whether you're recovering from a surgery or you're elevating your performance, we are the right clinic for you. Call us at 508-697-2000 or email us at ptuclinic@gmail.com. Check out our website at www.ptuclinic.com.
Sends Cal Ripken 10U World Tournament. We are also joined by Frank Revoir and John Tennant, two of the umpires of the game. Are you guys still there with us?
Yes, we are.
Okay, nice. Thank you guys for staying on. As we come back from As we come back from the break, first I'd want to start off with asking Frank and John a certain question. And that question is, while you guys have been umpires for the game, you obviously have had to learn the rule book extensively, probably front page to back page, just know it off the top of your head. What I want to ask is, throughout sports, sometimes you can see a player take advantage of the rule book because they understand the rules to a certain level that other people don't. Like in the NFL during kickoffs, there's a rule that if you have your feet out of bounds and the ball technically went out of bounds and you caught it, so you get at the 40-yard line. Have you seen anything like that throughout the Cal Ripken baseball where a player has not used just their athleticism but their actual IQ to impress you with what they did using the rule book?
This is Frank. From my perspective, at this level, this age, not from the kids. However, you will find coaches occasionally trying to pull a fast one, and many times they're wrong, because when you deal with Cal Ripken baseball versus high school baseball and college, and there's some differences, and so sometimes they bring what they may have learned in college, a coach I'm talking about, and then try to call us on it. So I think, and I think John would attest to the fact that I don't think we haven't gotten tricked up in this tournament by that. But occasionally coaches are the ones that throw it out, not the kids, because not at the 10 level anyway. That's for me. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I echo that. Some of these players, coaches have played in different leagues and in different rule sets. So when they come here, they don't completely understand our rules. We go through an extensive managers meeting to make sure they do, but still comes down to appeal plays or things that they don't know how to do. So we work with them. We're pretty open-minded about it. We don't do it during the game, but if they want to know if there's, what our rule set is, we let them know.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I wasn't sure if there was any time where there was just some really impressive just showcase of knowing the rule book like that, but that does definitely make more sense as they are still children at that point. Mm-hmm. But as we were talking during the break, Lucy actually had a question that she came up with.
A couple questions. Actually, this is for both of you. John, if you'd like to go first, I want to know, why did you become an umpire? And did you play as a kid?
Yeah, I did. I played, we had Bambino baseball in my hometown back in Washington. The reason I became an umpire is my kid was playing, and I'm sitting in the stands, and there's nobody to umpire. So I grabbed a pillow, which is we call it a pillow. It's something to umpire in the back. Back in my days, I'm 65 years old. Back in the day, that you put in front of you, and the ball, if it got by the catcher, it just bounced off of you and went helplessly out into the field. But the first time I did it, I kind of had this twinge of, this is something I might want to do. And I started, like I said, 35 years ago, and I'm more comfortable on the field of play than I am anywhere in my life.
That's for you. Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome. And this Frank, so my two boys, I played a little bit, up to age 13, baseball, and loved the game. Oh, I'm a big Cub fan, so I'm very patient, right? And so I just loved the whole aspect of baseball. And then my two boys, I coached through Cal Ripken and Babe Ruth, and then I too was challenged to step on the field as an umpire, and that was about 20 years ago. So I'm 60 now, and I don't have that tenure that John Tennant does, but I certainly I feel the same way as he does when I'm on the field. You're just in a zone, and it's a happy place. It's a very happy place, and sometimes you wouldn't know it by the emotions going on, but it's still an enjoyable place to be. So, and especially with the folks like Dominic and the 7 other guys we have, it's a wonderful crew, and memories for us for a lifetime too.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, to be in it this long, how far do both of you seem to take it to the next level? I mean, are you going to do this until you're...
About 3 o'clock.
So when you both go home, do you still umpire?
Well, I'm Frank here. I'm Northern Indiana, and we have a fall ball program where we actually mentor and bring our young kids on the field that
Nice.
want to get out there, don't know what it's about, and we put them into game situations. So I'm going to be mentoring and training through October.
Wow.
And I own an island on the Columbia River in Washington, and I'm going to be on my boat on the Columbia River on my island. As after today, I am done until next February.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. We need a field trip, guys.
Yeah.
No, that's wonderful. Well, enjoy your time. Enjoy your time. Guys, any other questions?
Justin, you got any right now, or you want me to hop in?
No, I don't have any.
Okay, so is Dom with you guys right now?
He's right here.
Okay, how you doing, Dom?
I'm doing good, my young man.
Oh, I did have one more question. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, you can take
All
it.
right, this is for John. When you get out there on the field, do you know if you're going to be behind the plate, or you're going to be on the bases, or you're going to be, how do they place you? And having seniority as a seasoned umpire, especially for these types of games, who decides where you're going to be?
Well, that's what the UIC is for. He was gracious enough to give me the first game of the World Series, and he does the last one. He just, they just work out the schedule. They give a schedule. We have 10 guys, and he places us where he wants us. And then we kind of negotiate if we want to go to a certain base. We're pretty freewheeling at this one.
Okay. I always wondered about that.
Most of the time, when you're scheduled, if we do a regular season, we're scheduled either the plate or the field. We don't work much four-man. We work a lot of two-man in high school because of the inavailability of umpires. It's getting harder and harder and harder to get umpires to come out and do the job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, I want to ask both of you guys about that before we move on. So, obviously, over the last couple of years, kind of think that got exacerbated a lot by COVID happening and all that stuff because people were locked up, and then when they got back out, they realized the reactions from the crowd. Do you think that the main reason for this referee as well as umpire drought is kind of just some fans expecting too much from them and not realizing that they're human still?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. You take a 16-year-old kid and you put him on the field and you have 500 people yelling at him, and the coaches are yelling at him, trying to get him to change his mind or call it their way. They just chase him off.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's not a carrot there to bring the kids onto the field. Initially, the ones that do go out there say, "Hey, I can make $40, $50, whatever the fee is in that area a game." But then when the heat comes down a little bit, they walk away and say it's not worth it, and that's unfortunate. And that's partially because there's not enough mentors to walk them through that first year, especially. So
they can make $15 an hour at McDonald's and don't have to take guff off of anybody.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's really true, actually. I kind of feel like they need to start appreciating those aspects of sports a lot more because obviously athletes, coaches, all of them get the proper praise now. Even like announcers and stuff are getting praise at this point. Mm-hmm. There's got to be a point where the officials start getting a little bit because at the end of the day, it is a World Series where it's mostly like 10-year-olds. You're not supposed to be yelling at them. You should be respecting the calls at that point.
Mm-hmm. And that goes for all sports, really.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So, Dom, before we go back to our break, I wanted to ask you, as you're one of the 40 Sports crew actually down in Vincennes, what it has looked like for you down there and how some of the games have gone from your viewpoint.
Well, I've seen some incredible defensive plays from these kids. And John mentioned this and Frank mentioned this when we first got here. Some of the play was a little bit sloppy. And then the better teams started gelling, and you could just see it on the ball field. Like Milton put up 11 runs in the semifinal to get themselves in the Ironman finals today, again, which they won 6-2. Congratulations to them. But just the defensive plays, these kids, they're laying it out. The outfielders, infielders knocking the ball down. Some kids get up and complete the play. It's just real fun to see from, I think we all 10 of us could probably vouch for that. Just we're at the point now where the best of the best are playing at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, in fact, we got to get in there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is Frank, and I really appreciate your airwaves. You guys do a great job. I catch you guys on Facebook a lot. And,
Oh, awesome.
Keep it.
Yeah, he always says, "Who's the fat guy in the corner?" So
Oh,
we
Dom?
know who the fat guy is in the corner now.
Dom, so it's Joe's last broadcast with us next Saturday. So when we have the Milton crew in here, we're going to have a little party.
all right, very good.
All
Talk
right.
to you guys when I get home.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great game out there. We'll be listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for answering all the questions and coming on today. We appreciate everything that you guys do.
Yeah, they just walked off. Frank has to get his plate
gear
gear
on,
on. I
yep.
got to go throw my jersey on. We're on the corner in the shade. It's getting a little humid now, and everyone was looking at me like, "Are those three guys okay? Why are they sitting in the corner?"
All right,
Leave
Dom.
it to me, right? All right, guys, love you. I'll see you later.
Love you too.
See you later. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, right now we are ready for our second break of the show. This has been 40 Sports Talk with Joe Dez, Justin Ferreira, and Lucy Cabral. We will be right back after this.
Hello, this is Manny Del Carmen from the 2007 World Series champion Boston Red Sox.
World champs again.
A sports analyst for NESN. Along with my best friend Jose Diaz, we grew up in the city of Boston, a city that we truly love. Jose and I have always talked about giving back to the youth within our city. Therefore, we created the Boston Athletic Academy to move our passion to action. Our goal is to develop future student athletes in Boston by providing a safe location to offer educational and athletic needs. We are taking the next steps and looking forward for your support to reach our goal. Please visit the BostonAthleticAcademy.org for more information. Let's make a difference because success has no boundaries.
Welcome back to 4 Deep Sports Talk on 1320 AM Radio WARA. We just finished talking with Dominic Damiano, who is down in Vincennes right now.
Vincennes, Indiana.
Yeah, he's covering the Cal Ripken World Series. Is he serving as an umpire?
He is an umpire.
Okay,
so
yeah.
That's why I asked, who gets to pick who's behind the base and out in the field. And he's worked a couple, behind the base. But it's so him, I'm sure he's having a blast out there.
Oh, 100%. He loves going back to the kids like that. It's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's really cool to see how we had just two such long tenured umpires of them, too.
Right?
That's crazy. I mean, one had 20 World Series under his belt, 31 years of umpiring. I believe the other one had a good 20 years of umpiring, too.
Yep. And he was from Indiana also, right? Frank?
Yeah, Frank.
And so
was
John
from
was from Washington State up there, which is very interesting. When I asked him how he started, I thought that was I had a feeling it would be either him or his kids playing and how he got into umpiring. It could be anything, a bad call, from his kid. Oh, if I was out there, that type of thing. But, over 25 years and in umpiring, and how he started was, what do you call it, a pillow? So it's like a chest protector thing?
Yeah, he said something about like a pillow.
Yeah. I kind of
Back in the day, I think that's where they were called anyway. So
kind of all glossed over the fact that he has his own island. Don't really understand that.
Right.
Pretty crazy.
His own boat. I'm like,
Yeah, it also makes me wonder, how much did he have to pay to own that island?
Exactly. And it's gorgeous country up there.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That's a really nice area, too.
Yeah.
It's really cool. But
it was great to hear from them. By the way, KC is out today. She is actually going to see a Red Sox game with the Special Olympics team. And I can't remember who the other one. She was invited and last minute. So enjoy the game, Casey. I know it's going to be a beautiful day out there.
Yeah, hopefully Casey comes back by next week so we can see her before I end up
leaving. Yeah, she said she definitely will be here next week.
Nice.
So it'll be a full crew and the Milton team who advanced, right? They're in the 10U Cal Ripken World Series.
Yeah, I believe it's some other game technically, but it's not technically the World Series.
I believe it's like the losers bracket.
Yeah,
and
they
so
called it
go
something
into
certain.
another tournament
Yeah.
for all those teams because they're out there.
I feel like it had Iron in the name for the game.
Yeah,
I could be making that
Iron
up. But
Man or something.
yeah, almost an
Something like
Iron
that.
Maiden, but I'm pretty sure it's just
Yep.
a song. I'm not sure if that's even a game. So
Right.
It's okay.
But congratulations to Milton. Also, shout out to Middleborough. Middleborough team is going to the National World Series.
Nice.
Yeah, that's going to be very, very exciting. So kudos to them. I know they had won the other day, I think it was Friday. I think it was Friday. They had won last night or
Yeah, that sounds
day
like it
before.
was, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's great to see local teams out here, especially ones that we cover in the region and in the divisions. Hopefully they'll go on. So
Now,
we'll
one
see.
massive part about the Massachusetts team representing like this too is the fact that they have done this while they only could really train during the spring and summer.
Right.
Florida teams, they get all year long. They don't
Right.
have winter come in. They don't have snow. They don't have anything like that.
And COVID on top of that.
Yeah, they had to get
So,
through all of that.
Holy smokes. Kudos. So I'm sure they're having a blast out there.
Yeah, I can guarantee. I feel like as a little kid going to a mini World Series probably feels like the coolest
Right.
event in the world.
Right, I've been watching a little bit of it, and I see Hawaii out there, so they advanced also. And I think they were playing a Midwestern team. I can't remember, but my husband and I, Lou, out there, I know he's listening, has the up and up on that, what's going on. But I just love watching the Little League World Series,
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They got Oahu from Hawaii in there.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty. I didn't realize that first when I was looking over the brackets. That It's insane that they got them to fly out from the island. That's so cool.
Right?
I did not realize Cal Ripken had expanded that much. That's really crazy to see. When I was talking to John, I was asking about the differences between 20 years ago for the Cal Ripken tournament and now.
Yeah.
Can't imagine the team selection difference from then because I feel like it probably was just teams right around that area because 20 years ago, youth sports probably pretty hard to convince people to fly out all the way to Indiana for a World Series.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably kept more local.
Yeah, almost 100%, right? It's probably mostly Indiana teams and just teams in the surrounding area at that point.
I mean, they had teams from Marlborough, Mass, here in New England area anyway. New Canaan, Connecticut. It's a good mixture of little towns throughout the United States. A couple from Andrews, Texas. There's another Texas team in here, I think. Vincennes, of course. Fargo, North Dakota. I mean, places that you've never heard of, And so this definitely must be like a field of dreams for a lot of these kids, which is the coolest thing. Moses Lake, Washington. Really? Florence, Alabama. Marlton, New Jersey. Where is that?
Burlington Creek, Florida.
Right?
Yeah, everyone who lives in those towns are going to get pretty offended if they hear this loose.
I know.
No, I'm
Sorry.
We're in trouble.
No, that is really cool to see just that wide of an array of different talents. I can't believe they got Hawaii, California, Kentucky, Texas, Massachusetts, just
Yeah.
everywhere, Connecticut even. That's insane. I was looking to see if we saw a Rhode Island team on here. That would have blown my mind.
Oh,
that
big
would have been
time.
insane if they got a Rhode Island team there.
Big time. Me too. So, Justin, you've got some brackets going on there, right? Want to give a rundown?
I got the pool standings.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 4 plays. And it's labeled alphabetically. So there's A, B, C, and D. And so, do you want me to go over everything?
Sure.
All right.
Want to put some music under?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. So, out of the four pool plays here, just name off the teams, where they're from. And, that would be great.
Yeah, just setting up your music right now, Justin. In about 1 second. We're gonna
Our
be all
sports
good.
master
All
on the
right.
move.
Yeah. Get a little bit flashback to the beginning here. Let's see. Okay.
All right. So for World Series pool play, for the teams we have Vince's Green.
Vincent's Green.
Yeah.
Yep.
I probably butchered that. My bad.
You're good,
That's
Justin.
all right. You got it.
Willamette Valley, Oregon. Skyston, MO,
Yeah, it's Missouri.
Missouri. Marlboro, Massachusetts. And Andrews, Texas.
Right?
And that's all for pool play A. And for B, there's New Canton. What's the CCT stand for? Which state?
Connecticut.
Connecticut, okay. Clovis, CA.
California.
Yep. Crown Point, Indiana.
Yeah, there you go.
Fargo, North Dakota. And Vince's White.
Vincent's White. So that must be, they have two teams from Indiana. That's where they are. Vincent's Green and Vincent's White. So
Yeah,
must be their state colors or something.
Yeah, it makes way more sense. I was wondering why they didn't have a state listed after both those names.
Yeah,
right.
that's
And I'm
strange,
like, oh,
yeah.
that's where they are. They're in Vincent's, Indiana.
Yeah, I was wondering if
Okay.
it was like a District of Columbia type
Right,
thing for
right.
Washington. That makes more sense. Yeah, you got this, Justin.
Okay. All right, so now for World Series pool play C, there's Marlinton, New Jersey, Florence, Alabama, Julington Creek, Florida, S.E. Lexington, Kentucky,
Yeah, I think that's southeast. Could be southeast.
I'm guessing southeast, yeah.
and Morses Lake,
Washington.
Yep.
Nice. We got one more pool play?
Yep. Well, the final one for pool play D, you got South Lexington, Kentucky.
Oahu.
Oahu.
That's a big island of Oahu in Hawaii.
In Hawaii.
I have
Okay.
some cousins over there, so.
Jacksonville, Florida. Campbellsville, Kentucky. And Milton, Massachusetts.
Right? And congratulations again to Milton.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of
Yeah, for winning.
Yeah, very impressive there.
Although, isn't it weird that Jacksonville, it says like the state name instead of the abbreviation?
Yeah, Jacksonville's the only one that got enough respect to get that, I guess, for some reason. Wow. Now the Massachusetts teams got Massachusetts written out. No,
Right?
I'm joking. That's pretty cool to see, though. That's a lot of different teams just spread out a lot of places. When I was thinking Oahu, that might be where the Fouriers are from. You're a Christian Fourier?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I think
confident.
You're right.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's where his daughters visit like every summer.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see that type of stuff. His
Definitely.
daughter Cam Fourier, I think I mentioned before, but when I interviewed her on the Jodas Hour, she was going to do like a gap year kind of where she was going to be doing a prep school before trying to go D1.
Okay.
But now she's going to Binghamton University, Division I, going to New York.
In upstate?
She's already there right now.
That's where I was last weekend.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
state. It was beautiful up there.
Yeah, when I
Beautiful
ordered
country.
a Michigan State sweatshirt, they sent me one, but it said Bearcats on it, and I had no clue what that was. And then she applied to that school. She released her like graphic that was showing her committed there.
And had a
in the-
Bobcat on?
Had a Bearcat in the background. So they sent me the wrong one, but it was for her school a week before she committed. It was pretty crazy. So.
Wow. So that's where she's going?
Yeah, gonna be really cool. Already up there. It's pretty crazy seeing the D1 athletes already.
Wow.
What's pretty crazy is a few of the ones I had interviewed before they were D1 athletes have become D1 athletes now. Like my friend Robert Pomerant, he went to Stonehill. They were D2 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're D1, so he's a Division I athlete already. It's pretty crazy to
Oh,
see.
my goodness.
Yeah, and what's even crazier about that is they all start really early because they have to have training camp and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they're there like a month before everyone else.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're working it. They're big time working it.
I
Well,
know.
hopefully their studies can keep up with that, you know?
Yeah, I imagine
That's
that
the
they
hardest
will.
thing.
Oh, 100%.
Ugh, goodness.
Just trying to find a good time balance, I imagine, is the toughest part for D1 athletes.
Yeah.
But we are ready for our third and final break of 40 of Sports Talk. We'll be right back for a little bit right after this. This has been Joe Dez, Justin Ferreira, the Sportsmaster, and Lucy Cabral, also known as the Paparazzi. Dominic Damiano is in Vincennes, Indiana right now. He is on assignment.
And Casey?
KC is, of course, at the Red Sox game. Hope that she's enjoying that so far. Hope that they win today.
Yeah,
we'll see how the
big
Red Sox
time.
do. Hopefully she gives a little bit of luck to them today. So we'll be right back after this third and final break.
Hi, this is Megan Chase of Jack Conway Real Estate. Jack Conway has been providing top quality real estate professionalism since 1956. I take personal pride to ensure that my clients are happy with the services I provide. It is my job to make sure that you are fully involved and fully informed and have all the information to make the right real estate decisions for you and your family. Please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to be a resource for you. I can be reached at 774-240-7707 or via email at mchase@jackconway.com. I'm always happy to assist you with your real estate needs.
A popular destination, Adria boasts a breathtaking panoramic view of nature in all of its glory in each and every season. Upon visiting their 200-seat restaurant, you will see 3 distinctive areas. The lounge area includes their spacious 26-seat dining bar, high-top tables, and dining tables, all with viewing access to 7 high-definition televisions and 3 Kino monitors. A second area set apart from the lounge offers booths and tables to accommodate every member of the family. The third area, a few steps down and separated from the main restaurant by windows, is known as the Fairway Room. It is surrounded by a wall of windows offering not just a fabulous view, but a feeling of serenity and tranquility. It is a favorite spot for lunch, dinner, and functions. It is perfect for a romantic dinner, a casual family gathering, business meeting, or any large group for that special occasion.
Hello and welcome back to 40 Sports Talk, 1320 AM Radio, WARA. If you want to call in, the phone number is 508-222-1320. That is 508-222-1320. Got a little text message over the break. Not quite sure who it was from, but we are going to clarify. Cal Ripken is not the same as Little League Baseball. Completely separate entities. Both doing great things for youth sports. Obviously, very impressive to see, I guess. Yeah, I want to clarify that, make sure none of the listeners are confused. But now we still have about 10 minutes to wrap up the show. We got a little bit more to talk about. You guys have anything that you want to bring up specifically first?
Justin, what do you got? I thought this was a very, very interesting interview from an umpire's perspective.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you get to see players and coaches a lot. It's very rare that you get to see umpires talk about their actual game.
Yeah, I mean, it's like... I don't know. I don't know if like umpires have like a sense that they might like feel underappreciated.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that.
I'm sure they do.
I feel like they don't admit because obviously you're doing it for something bigger than yourself, but we can admit for them there's probably some disrespect they shouldn't be getting because they do a lot for the game.
Right. Well, and especially the fans, that are out there causing these little remarks and whatnot, and you've got to respect these referees and umpires, and they're occasionally going to give a bad call, but the more seasoned you are, you live and learn, and you get it. And I mean, watching the Patriots game the other night, I'm like, everybody's a little bit rusty, There were some bad calls there, but they always iron out at the end.
Yeah, one big thing I think during quarantine, people were always in their house just yelling at the TV at a bad call. Kind of forget that you can't do that in person.
Guilty.
I feel like everyone did that. It's part of just the game. But when you're actually looking at a real person, you can't really do that same reaction.
Right.
It's not how it's going to work.
Everyone's a critic, unfortunately.
Yes. And that goes for any sport also.
Yeah, but they're slowly getting more respect, I believe, which is good. Moving on from the sports talk, actually, real quick. What's kind of cool, as we mentioned, next week is going to be my last week for this show until next summer.
We're going to miss you, Joe, but I can tell you, we have had a pleasure having you on board here.
Yeah,
and
thank
I hope, you take with you some of this stuff, and you're always welcome back,
Yeah, 100%. It's been over a year. Probably going to be coming back next summer, too. It's going to be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but what's coming up is throughout the final season that I did announcing, I told you I was training that other kid to announce, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so when I was training him, one of the big things I was doing the entire season was I had a camera with me, and I was making my own mini documentary about it. And the way that worked out perfectly was that last year, the girls' lacrosse team at Fian had lost to Austin Prep in the CCL Cup Championship at home. And they'd been saying all year, like, revenge tour, that type of stuff. They'd be coming for them in the CCL Cup. This year, the CCL Cup was at home again, and we won it. Complete opposite from last year. Same team, Austin Prep. Same matchup, same field, everything the same. It was just different referees, all changed everything. And now it's fully done. Tomorrow, I will be releasing that documentary. It's called Every Dog Has Its Day. And then it is going to be on the Jodez Instagram and on the Jodez YouTube channel. It's about 40 minutes long total. easily one of the hardest projects that I've done. Put a lot of work into that. I've been editing for about 2 months now. Really happy how it came out. So if you want to check that out, make sure you guys check that out.
Absolutely. And you can find it where again? On Instagram
Yes.
and YouTube?
So it's going to be on Instagram, the Jodez on Instagram, and that's all one word. Or on YouTube on Jodez, 2 words, Joe space DZ. That is going to be where it's releasing. Had an interview with my friend Mason that came out a couple days ago, but now it's going to be an actual documentary releasing. Really excited to see how that came out because it started off kind of a joke documentary. It was supposed to be like The Last Dance, but it actually came out perfectly in the end, so I'm really happy that's going.
Excellent. And what did you learn from all that?
Well, the big thing is not really focusing on yourself as much. 'Cause I had to train another kid, so I was kind of taking a step back and not letting the ego just go to your head. Like, it's really a ego dampener is one thing that's nice when you're training someone else because it realizes that things are bigger than just yourself.
Absolutely.
There's gonna be more people
kind of put you in your place a little bit.
Yeah, so it's very nice to see it, and then you can
Good.
see a lot of progression throughout the documentary of different things. Like him, the person I was trying to announce as a freshman, his name's Max Sertus, but by the end of the year, he became really good at it. He has you know who Butch Stearns is?
Yes.
Yeah, he actually reached out to Max already after I trained him that year, and now he's going to be hopefully getting some training from him, which is pretty cool.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
We got to get him in here.
Yeah, 100%. I got to talk to him
get him
about
in
that.
here. Yeah, talk to him, and we'll get him in here.
Yeah, it could be really good. Then what was really cool was a lot of the people who I had interviewed over the last year actually have done really big things, so I got them to do a little check-in at the end for a little epilogue.
Yep.
And one of them was my friend Sean Politinsky. He did the MS bike ride, which was from Stoughton to P-Town, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, 150 miles in 2 days is what he did. He biked there and then biked back, like 75 miles each way. Pretty impressive stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
He made it.
Yeah, and he was my first non-sports interview as well but a really impressive kid. He knows Italian, insane artist. For the epilogue, there's a little portion where I used a filter on like a couple pictures of me and Max that makes it look like it was hand-drawn and that goes in a live picture. I got him to hand-draw his own version of that for himself, where it's him drawing himself and that goes into his video. It's insane to see.
Oh, wow.
One of my favorite parts of the documentary. He made the whole Jodez Hour logo. He's done all that. He's really impressive in graphic design.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, so during break, I had asked Joe Dez about his clothing line.
Yeah.
So, honey, if you're listening, expect some pretty cool Christmas gifts, okay?
Well, I'm trying to work out right now, trying to see if I can do it in time because I only have 13 days until I leave.
Right.
What I wanted to do was do one final sweatshirt drop where it's the Michigan State colors instead of just
nice.
So it'd be like a forest green color, and then I'd probably have just the gold logo, maybe a white logo instead. But it could be really cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
So must be exciting, Joe, huh?
Yeah.
Must be very exciting. We're
It's
so
pretty
happy
cool.
for you.
Yeah,
That's great.
Thank you. One weird thing is kind of accepting that change is not going to be a bad thing, though. Kind of a weird portion in life right now where everything's going to be getting real fast, real quick.
Yep,
So.
it's transition. You know,
Yeah.
you just go with the flow. Just go with it.
No, exactly. It's pretty easy to get terrified of change is the problem, but you need to realize it's
Change
going to
is
happen.
good.
Yeah, it's going to be for the best overall. It's just sometimes you look back at old memories, you all hold on to them forever. And
But
hard
that's the
to-
transition part. You know, there's better
Yeah.
things out there.
Because when you think like 2 years ago, wouldn't have been here if there wasn't change.
There you go.
There's stuff like that.
There you
Like,
go.
Really easy to fall into the comfort zone. Got to make sure that we don't do that because
Right.
It's tough.
Right,
It's
right.
crazy how quick time goes by. It's insane.
So, Justin, do you want to go over who's playing who in the bracket for Cal Ripken here? That would be great. Oh, we can take it to actually the actual last brackets.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Right?
there's only one final game left, right? And that's the World Series. It's gonna be Marlton, New Jersey versus Julington Creek, Florida.
Right. That's at 1 o'clock. That's in about 3 minutes from now, and that's the one Dom and Frank and John are going to be umpiring.
The big game.
Yeah.
That's a big game in Vincent's Cub League Complex.
You know, I'm realizing if anyone watches that game, they could actually see Dom. If
That's right.
you missed out on your daily dose of Dom for this week, and check him out. That's actually really cool to think about. I didn't realize how you'd be actually able to see him on the TV broadcast and everything.
And so in the Ironman bracket, it is Milton and Campbellsville, Connecticut.
Well, you were right, Lucy. It was Iron Man. Dang.
Yeah,
Okay, it was
yeah.
not
I'm looking
Iron
at the
Man.
bracket, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it says Ironman. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Nice. So it's gonna be Milton versus who did you say?
Actually, did they play this morning? Yeah, they did play this morning. I'm sorry.
Campbellsville, Kentucky. Was that what you were talking about?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, and so Milton won. So they actually won the champion.
Yeah, it's always really cool to see just local teams like that representing. That's awesome.
Definitely. And again, Middleborough, in the Cooperstown there, World Series, moves on as well. Very, very exciting just to have, local teams, play.
Yeah, especially on a nationwide type thing, because when it's local teams and a local event, it's obviously cool to see. But when it's a national event, you see local teams competing just to represent Massachusetts. That's awesome.
Right?
Going head to head with Hawaiians, going right against Kentucky, like people from Kentucky. That's really cool. It's really hard to find a certain venue where they actually are able to combine such different personalities, such different places like that.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the show when we were talking about the fields, I can imagine what Vincennes, Indiana looks like. It must be like a mini Cooperstown, right?
Oh yeah, I imagine that's just beautiful because they've had that same venue for 20 years, but they've been updating it every year. They had 20 years of renovations.
It's
I can't
resort
imagine.
baseball out there.
Yeah, it was in Palm Springs last year that Tom went, right?
Right.
Yeah, so
he had a blast down there too.
If it's going from Palm Springs to Vincennes, I imagine Vincennes has got to be pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
I believe that we have about 30 seconds left.
30 seconds? Oh,
my
God.
Timer technically says 2 minutes, but I know it always cuts us off right around 1.
Yeah, it does.
So we are going to just wrap this up real quick. Thank you all for listening to 4 Deep Sports Talk today. We're on 1320 AM radio WARA in the news station. This has been Joe Dez, Justin Ferrer, a.k.a. the Sportsmaster, Lucy Cabral, also known as the Paparazzi, Dominic Damiano is on assignment in Vincennes, and KC is at the Red Sox game right now. Should all be back, full crew next week for my final show for at least this summer. We'll see what happens in the future, and we will all see you next week.
Today's 4 Deep Sports Talk show is supported by PTU Clinic. Visit ptuclinic.com. Adria's Restaurant and Banquet Facility of East Bridgewater. For more information, their website is adriasrestaurant.net. And the Boston Athletic Academy at bostonathleticacademy.org.